Alex, I think you have to go in 1 minute. Suns,
Yeah.
Nuggets. Who gets it?
I kind of alluded to it earlier. I'm going to say Suns, but I don't have a lot of conviction with that pick. Like, I'm just that much of a believer of Jokic. I think the Suns is a better team, and I think they'll win it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jokic and the Nuggets somehow pulled it out. Like, it feels like the other guys step up. It feels like, it's so guaranteed that he's going to do his thing and make other guys better and step up in big moments. Because I remember that was always a concern, like those first couple of years with Jokic when he was first turning into this guy with this load. And so he can do it, right? I think they have enough there to step up. But to me, the Suns seem like this is a team that's going to the conference finals. We're going to get the whole Chris Paul stuff, and that is made for me. I love Chris Paul, man. I want to see it, and I want to see him versus the Clippers. Like, I need to see that. His old team, he would be the underdog, I think, because Kawhi and Paul George are supposed to be, one of the 3 best teams in the league for the past 2 years or whatever. So I would love to see that, and so that is going to inform my opinion. I'm going to say the Suns win in 6.
Okay. Marco.
No analysis there, just
Nuggets.
Narrative BS.
That's all. We love it.
This is a coin flip. Like, even more so than I thought that the Nuggets and Blazers was. Don't remind me that I picked the Blazers in that. Somebody should have helped Dame. Anyway, yeah, I guess I have the Suns in 7. Like, the home court advantage is probably the only thing swaying me right now. And I'm curious as to how long Jokic lasts. He's one of the few guys left from the teams that were in the Final Four last year. How long is he going to hold up? Maybe he holds up forever because he's Jokic and he never goes past 2 miles an hour.
Doesn't need to move a lot.
Yeah. So I'm curious about that and see like if he ever runs down. Like even Luka Doncic ran out of gas eventually, carrying as much as he did. Jokic has a little bit better of a supporting cast so far. They've shown up at least a little bit in the playoffs. And I'm curious as to how the Suns guard Jokic, because Jokic talked about how Ayton plays him really well, and that was surprising to hear. Mostly, you hear guys say, "Oh, this guy can't guard me," or "Nobody can guard me." Jokic was like, "Yeah."
Do you think it was fake love?
Jokic is the type of dude to I wouldn't.
To be honest,
put it past him. He's the funniest guy in the league, so I wouldn't put it past him.
It just when he said that, I was like, really? DeAndre Ayton gives you the most trouble? I mean, I know he's gotten better, but that was definitely I wouldn't think of him as being the guy with the right frame to bother Jokic.
I think it's because DeAndre's very he has a good base. Like when he defends guys posting up, and he's also very long. He's one of the that's where the David Robinson comparisons came from when he came out of college. I never got him until he started playing because he has the soft touch that David used to have, or at least from what I remember watching on Hardwood Classics when I was a kid. And I think that's probably what he thinks of. Bam gives him trouble sometimes. Last year, he actually guarded him really well when I was looking at the numbers because he's also a strong guy who has range. You would think Anthony Davis would be that guy, but he was torching him last year too. He was torching everybody. So I think that might be a real thing. To what extent, that's what the series might be decided on. How long are they going to go with single coverage? Are they ever going to bring another guy? The Blazers tried that. Nurkic got in foul trouble every other game. So you wonder how long it's going to take for them to double. Are they ever going to double? Are they just going to say, okay, Jokic, you're going to have to score 60 points to win against us? We don't care if you do that. At least everybody else is getting single digits. We're fine with that. We're going to live with Austin Rivers killing us. He might do it for a game. Maybe that'll happen. And I think I trust them to have a game plan and for the Nuggets to maybe run out of that magic that they currently have. It's just hard for me to really pick a team decidedly. I don't think anybody's going to come out of this in 4 games or 5 games. I'd be surprised about that. I'm just going to stick with the Suns because I'm going to be rooting really hard for Chris Paul to make conference finals finally. And I really want to see that Clippers matchup too.
So you said you don't see this series. Oh, no, Alex, have fun on 5 on the floor. We'll be
Bossy
listening.
Man is calling. Yeah, check out
Thanks
5
for
on the
joining
floor.
us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys. It was fun.
was a
Sorry
pleasure.
for geeking out about all the different trades.
Get out of here. Get out.
You're only
No,
missing
it's not, though.
Sixers slander. Don't worry.
Oh,
You gotta come back.
no, I'm going to wave that flag at a later date, but I'll be waving it. All right, guys.
All right.
All right. Marco, so to your point, you said that you don't see this series ending, and you said that you think the Nuggets magic will continue a little bit. I actually think this
I have the
series.
Suns.
Oh, no. I know.
Okay.
But you said like the Magic will carry them to win 2 or 3 games in the series. I actually think it's Suns in 5. And I understand Jokic has been really, really good. I just, unless Michael Porter Jr. takes another step, I don't see another player consistently giving the Nuggets enough. I understand Jokic can elevate a team, but I just think the Suns, what they have, they can do everything. And the only thing I'm worried about is their backup 5. Outside of that, I think they're just through and through the better team. I think Monty Williams is doing a better coaching job than Mike Malone, which is crazy because Mike Malone is a really, really good coach. But I just think the way that they play basketball is just really, really good, and it translates to the playoffs. I mean, the Suns are just a really hard team to beat. Devin Booker, he had a rough first few games in the playoffs, and then he really started to turn it on. Then you saw it in Game 6. He had 30, 40. I don't even remember exactly what it was that he had, but he was just going nuclear on the Lakers. And I think that's only going to get easier. He's going to see easier guard defenders than he saw against the Lakers. So I think Booker is just going to really make a name for himself in this series. And I have the Suns winning in 5. No disrespect to Jokic. I think he wins them 1 game. He might win them 2. But I just think the Suns team as a whole, without Jamal Murray on the Nuggets, is so much better than the rest of this Nuggets team.
Yeah. Gad went where I wanted to go. I also have the Suns. I was going to say 5 or 6. I'm going 6 because Nikola Jokic has been the best player in the NBA this season. I think he's good for, like Gad said, 1, probably 2 games. But the Suns just have more. A lot of Jokic's supporting, like the role players that have stepped up and been really good for them are wings, general, right? Like they're all perimeter guys. The Suns have really good perimeter defenders to throw at those dudes. And as far as the whole Jokic thing is concerned, DeAndre Ayton's not going to stop him. Nobody can stop Nikola Jokic. He has too deep of a bag and such an array of moves that he's always going to have a counter for anything you throw at him. But DeAndre Ayton's pretty well suited to at least slow him down and take a couple of things away from him. That dude played phenomenally well in the Lakers series. I think he's really starting to assert himself as a really good young big. And I've never been a big Ayton guy, but I think it's becoming undeniable at this point. I think Chris Paul ends up winning the battle between him and Jokic in terms of who controls the pace more, because I feel like the Suns are more malleable. I think we talked about this on one of the last couple of episodes in terms of the pace that they can play at. So can the Nuggets. I just think with Chris Paul pushing the pace, the Suns are better equipped. If they want to play a slow, deliberate style, they've got Devin Booker in the half court. He can dice you up and do whatever he wants. We saw him have a monster series against the Lakers. I think that continues, and I'm going Suns in 6.
Smart man. The Suns shot makers, I just trust them more than I trust the Nuggets shot makers. And I guess the principle would also apply for the Blazers series, but that team could not guard a park car. So very different. Adam, who do you have in the series?
Taking the Suns, I think the series will be decided on the Suns guards versus the Nuggets forwards, in a sense. Who's going to perform at a better rate? I just think that the Suns are going to, because look, the Suns team reminds me a lot of the Heat last year in the bubble. They have a bunch of guys that switch. They're all lengthy. They have guys that can defend at every position. And the Nuggets, they're missing a lot of their best players. They're missing some offensive firepower with Jamal. Honestly, to me, it just seems like you can consistently count on Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. for this Nuggets team. And I just think that the Suns – overall, they're a much better team, and the toughest team they have that they're going to face, in my opinion, were the Lakers.
So that's indirectly saying Suns in the finals. I respect that. Putting words in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gad, you brought up the back, or I think Ariel did, the backup 5 situation.
Yes.
It's Gad.
Yeah, it's Gad. The backup 5 thing, I think in this series, you're going to be able to play Dario Saric a little more where you couldn't last series. This series, you can definitely put him on Paul Millsap. He's not going to beat you off the dribble like that. Dario is a good post-up defender, and I think he gives you really good offensive numbers. This year, he was one of the best backup bigs until like late in the season where he got hurt. He just never looked the same. and he started coming back. He got rushed, and he got cooked in that Lakers series. He got replaced by Frank Kaminsky. I think this series you're going to be able to play him at those minutes to where you can match their 5-out lineup that they bring out. Probably put JaMychal. You can put him on JaMychal Green as well. There's a lot of guys that you can hide him on. You're going to survive those minutes, and that helps in keeping DeAndre Ayton fresh because they were getting killed in those minutes where he sat last series. Yep. So I think you're going to be a little more fine with that.